Here, Hurt has added something that is, I believe, perhaps the best addition to a tiered reader that I have seen. Access to ancient literature has been a topic for discussion in ancient language pedagogy a great deal of late, but its precedent extends back hundreds of years. Indeed, Romans themselves, in teaching disciples the benefits of ancient literature, had their own ways of introducing texts. The tradition of annotation or modification of literary text for the sake of ease of comprehension has been a need in the classroom as long as the literature itself has existed. Joining in that long chain of instruction and material design comes The Lover's Curse by Carla Hurt, and edited by Jessica McCormick, a reader for Book 4 of Vergil's masterpiece, the Aeneid. Let's see what it has to offer. We are Latinitas animi causa, and this is the LAC Resource Review. The format of this book takes the shape of a tiered reader. For those unaware of this pedagogical annotation method, tiered readers take a piece of text and they simplify the text down to its core meaning using frequent and often seen vocabulary, simplified grammatical structure, and changed word order, all in the goal of increasing comprehension. Then, an additional tier of the text is written that introduces more elements that become more and more akin to the original text. More tiers are added, best practice is usually around 4 tiers, until they can reach the original text and read it fluidly. The danger that can come with this method of scaffolding text can be the time it takes to create the resource, but also the proficiency level of the creator can make it so that the tiered texts are not reflective of Latin idiom. These dangers are avoided entirely and masterfully in this edition. The Latin presented in this text is reflective of what we would expect in Latin idiom, as well as being highly comprehensible and compelling. Indeed, the story of the Aeneid is one that moves students and compels them with interest to read more, and here, the provided tiers make that reading experience smooth and effortless. It's very clear that Hurt, and as editor McCormick, took great pains to use highly frequent vocabulary so that the lower tiers are well crafted and scaffold the later text. Hurt also tells the story of the Aeneid up to this point in Book 4 to fill in crucial context that informs the narrative. The Latin is macronized and aesthetically presented. What, however, can we do if a core word or phrase appears in the original text whose frequency is low but crucial to understanding? What do we do if there's a cultural aspect unclear and not easily explicated with only simpler language? Here, Hurt has added something that is, I believe, perhaps the best addition to a tiered reader that I have seen. Each chunk of text, typically 3 to 4 lines long, is tiered down, but before readers come to the first tier, there's a section of illustration where words relevant for understanding are defined entirely in Latin, and have pictures done in a whimsical and simple stick figure art style with example sentences so as to remove as much opacity in the word as possible. This art style, which seems to be Hurt's personal style of stick figure artistry, as you can see through other endeavors on YouTube and her website, makes it eminently clear what is being communicated. Not only lexical items, but also cultural notes are explicated in this way so that mythological references or otherwise culturally specific contexts are made clear and support the reader's understanding. Who then is the audience for this book? Everyone who wants to read Book 4 of Vergil's Aeneid. Indeed, with a Latin 1 or 2 class, you could choose only to follow the first or second tier of the text and have them familiar with the entirety of Book 4 of this work. With more advanced classes, you can support them with this work to reading original, authentic material. Teachers themselves, in their own proficiency journeys, can have access readily to ancient texts. Autodidacts, interested in improving their own proficiency, can use this book to immense benefit, as a teacher is hardly necessary to take you through the work. This book is simply for everyone who wants to read ancient literature with facility and joy. The final question: cost. This book in paperback form currently comes in at $16.99 American dollars on Amazon and a hardcover for $29.99. This text has more than 30,000 Latin words, making it more than 6 times longer than the original Latin text. There are over 400 illustrations to support comprehension. Other Latin editions of Book 4, at normal length, come at higher expense with much lower reward. This resource is a sine qua non for the Latin learner, Latin teacher, or any Latin lover. This lover's curse is indeed here, our literary boon. So what do you think? Do you have your own edition of The Lover's Curse? Do you have any questions about how tier readers function, if there are other annotation methods or anything of the like? Is there a resource you'd like for us at LAC to review? Comment below and let us know. And if you enjoyed this video, check this one out, because I bet it'll go really great with your interests. Valete.